Hello, Professor. I hope you're doing very well. So this will be going to be my presentation on AeroFarm Pods, which is basically my new business venture. So without wasting any time, let's start. So coming on to the first slide. So this is basic. This will going to be a agenda of the presentation. So firstly, in this presentation, we will be covering the executive summary of AeroFarm Pods, and we will be talking about market analysis of AeroFarm Pods. Then we will look into the strategic plan of AeroFarm Pods, then business model and financial goals, marketing and branding plan of AeroFarm Pods, legal and ethical framework of AeroFarm Pods, operations plan and organizational structure of AeroFarm Pods, and then lastly, we will be covering the financial plan of the AeroFarm Pods. So coming on to the next slide. So starting with the executive summary. So exactly in this, I would say that the AeroFarm Pods is an innovative agri-tech venture that promotes sustainable and space-efficient food production through hydroponic technology. The company aims to meet growing urban demand for fresh, locally sourced produce while supporting the eco-friendly living. So its strategy focuses on affordability, scalability, and community impact through modular, easy-to-use pods for homes, businesses, and schools. The business model combines product sales with subscription-based maintenance and education services to ensure steady revenue growth. So, backed by the strong branding, ethical practices, and a commitment to sustainability, AeroFarm Pod seeks to achieve profitability within the next 3 years while making a long-lasting environmental impact. So, coming on to the next slide, so which is basically the market analysis of the AeroFarm Pods. So, the market of AeroFarm Pods is driven by the increasing global focus on sustainability, food security, and urban agriculture. With rising populations in cities and limited access to fresh produce, consumers are seeking innovative ways to grow food locally and sustainably. So, the hydroponic and vertical farming industries are experiencing the rapid growth supported by the government incentives and consumer awareness of the environmental issues. Competitors such as the Bowery farming and freight farms have proven the demand for high-tech farming systems, but the AeroFarm Pods differentiates itself by offering the portable, modular, and affordable units for individual, commercial, and community use. So the market research indicates strong potential among the eco-conscious homeowners, restaurants, and educational institutions looking to adopt green technologies, making AeroFarm Pods more well positioned to capture a significant share of this expanding sector. So coming on to the next slide, which is basically the strategic plan. So in this, I would say that the strategic plan for AeroFarm Pods centers on achieving sustainable growth through innovation, partnerships, and market expansion. The company's short-term goals include product development, pilot testing, and brand establishment in key urban markets. Medium-term objectives involve scaling production, forming partnerships with local governments and eco-friendly organizations, and entering the global markets. So the long-term strategies aim to expand the product line, integrating the smart technology for the precision agriculture, and developing educational programs to promote the sustainability. And the mission of AeroFarm Pods is to make the sustainable food production accessible to nearly everyone, while the vision is to become a global leader in urban agriculture technology. So the strategy integrates research, customer engagement, and environmental steadiness to ensure long-term competitiveness and impact in this highly competitive market. So coming on to the next slide, which is basically the business model and the financial goals of the AeroFarm Pods. So the in this, I would say that the AeroFarm Pods operates on a hybrid business model that combines direct sales, subscription-based maintenance services, and educational partnerships. So the revenue streams include the sale of modular pods, replacement parts, software integration, and consulting services for businesses and schools. The company's financial goals are to achieve profitability within 3 years by maintaining cost efficiency and expanding market reach. So initial funding will be sourced from seed investors and sustainability grants, with future rounds planned for scaling production and international distribution. So the financial projections anticipate steady revenue growth, a break-even point within, let's say, 24 to 30 months, and a 20% profit margin by the fifth year. So the reinvestment in product innovation and market diversification will ensure consistent financial stability and growth. And coming on to the next slide, which is basically the marketing and branding plan of the AeroFarm Pods. So in this, I would focus that the marketing and branding plan must focus on positioning AeroFarm Pods as a modern, eco-conscious, and innovative brand. Brand identity emphasizes sustainability, technology, and community wellness. Marketing strategies include digital campaigns, influencer partnerships, and social media engagement to target the millennials, families, and environmentally aware consumers. The company will also participate in sustainability exports, trade fairs, and collaborations with the urban farming communities to build the trust and visibility. So, a strong content marketing strategy highlighting the environmental and health benefits of AeroFarm pods will enhance credibility. So, by using the green branding elements and storytelling, AeroFarm pods will create an emotional connection with the consumers who value ethical and sustainable living. Coming on to the next slide, which is basically the legal and ethical framework of the AeroFarm pods. So in this, I would say that AeroFarm Pods is committed to adhering to all legal regulations and ethical business practices, which is required by any business to follow, and the company ensures compliance with agricultural, environmental, and safety standards for manufacturing and distribution. All product materials are ethically sourced, recyclable, and environmental friendly. So aligning with the corporate social responsibility principles. Employee welfare, data privacy, and transparent communication with stakeholders are very integral part to the ethical framework. So the business will also secure intellectual property rights for its designs and technology, protect the innovation. By maintaining high ethical standards, AeroFarm Pods fosters the consumer trust, minimizes legal risks, and contributes to positively to social and environmental causes. Moving on to the next slide, which is basically the operation plan and organizational structure. So in this, I would focus that the operations plan outlines an efficient production system that balances the quality, cost control, and sustainability. So manufacturing will initially be outsourced to certified green suppliers before transitioning to in-house production as the company scales. The supply chain will emphasizes local sourcing to reduce carbon emissions and ensure timely delivery. Organizational structure will follow a flat hierarchy, encouraging collaboration and agility among the departments such as product development, marketing, finance, operations, and customer service. So the leadership roles will be clearly defined to ensure accountability and innovation, with cross-functional teams driving the product improvements and customer satisfaction. So this structure supports flexibility, efficiency, and a strong culture of sustainability. And coming on to the next slide, which is basically the financial plan of the AeroFarm Pods. So in this, I would say that the financial plan projects the funding requirements, revenue streams, and profitability timeline for the AeroFarm Pods. Initial capital will be raised through a mix of personal investment, venture capital, and sustainability-focused grants. So the budget allocation will prioritize research and development, marketing and supply chain establishment, detailed forecasts, project steady sales growth as consumer adoption increases with a break-even point. projected within 2.5 years. So the risk assessments have identified potential challenges, including market competition, and production costs, which will be mitigated through diversification and strategic partnerships. The long-term financial outlook includes global expansion, recurring revenue through maintenance subscriptions, and sustainable profitability driven by both innovation and operational efficiency. And coming on to the next slide, which is basically the conclusion slide. So to conclude, I would say that AeroFarm Pods presents a practical and an innovative solution to the challenges of urban food production and sustainability. So with a clear strategic plan, efficient operations, and strong ethical foundations, the venture is well positioned for long-term growth in the agri-tech industry, and its emphasis on innovation, financial responsibility, and environmental awareness ensures both profitability and social value. AeroFarm Pods not only contributes to the global sustainability movement, but also empowers individuals and communities to embrace a greener and a healthier future. And coming on to the next slide. So these are basically my references, Professor. And I would here end my presentation. So, Professor, I hope you like my presentation. So, yeah, thank you for your attention, Professor.